Hello everyone, my name is Anton Babienka and well, I'd like to continue working on Terraform as you probably imagine because it's fun. So yeah, well, today I'd like to pretty much continue doing the same stuff as I did last time because I'm just lazy and cannot focus on anything more complicated than writing Terraform code. So I'm gonna to fix some issues, some pull requests, as often introduce some new bugs, and yeah, well, I don't know what else to say about the agenda. Thanks. How many people? Well, at least 6 people are watching this on YouTube, which is pretty good for this kind of content. I know that not everybody is kind of looking forward to see just another episode where I'm gonna to write some code and ramble about it. Uh, I'm a bit lazy to do more complicated stuff, but I have received quite a decent amount of requests for the upcoming episodes. So I think in 1, 2 weeks, no, yeah, in about a couple of weeks at least, I will switch focus and do something else than just live coding. So, for example, I'd like to work on some testing, open policy, and yeah, and Visual Studio Code as well. I will show some fun stuff. Okay, as you probably can see, I have a Redis t-shirt. That's not because I am using Redis right now or because Redis paid me money to have this t-shirt. It's because not everybody wants to see me naked. But other than that, I want to say that if you want to sponsor myself and then I will have your t-shirt on me during this kind of live streams, you know where to find me, right? It's pretty simple. Okay, jokes aside, weekly TF is still growing. Amount of people who are liking, sharing it is growing much quicker than I anticipated it. So there are more than 3,700 subscribers already. And yeah, thanks Firefly for sponsoring episodes like this one. And well, hopefully you guys will like the product and see what is it. I mean, I'm not talking about Firefly, I'm talking about listeners who are listening to this now. Check out what is Firefly, and yeah, feel free to subscribe weekly TF and you will be notified every Wednesday. And I find articles which I think are relevant for people who are curious about Terraform. As you understand, I'm not putting articles about how to install Terraform or how to spin up EC2 instance there. So it's pretty obvious. I know that many of you guys are learning Terraform and you want to become certified, so I hope you'll find interest in this article and of course open source. Of course, if you want to help Ukraine, I am from Ukraine myself. Please donate and please remember that the war is still there. And yeah, I'm looking forward when we will eventually get rid of Russia and everything will be Ukraine, as it should be, as it has been before. Okay, if you want to become sponsored to myself, here is the best way, which describes, well, it's actually a bit old information. Yeah, Slava Ukraini, Mert. Um, so yeah, it's a bit old information. I probably have to update it at some point. My goals, well, what are my goals here? Any funding via GitHub is going. Yeah, right. Eventually, any funding which I receive from pretty much any source will be kind of placed into working on these projects. Some of these projects actually, yeah, I mean, they changed or they disappeared. Anyway, I'm still in Terraform and in AWS community, so I'm going to continue doing this stuff. But yeah, just join. I mean, that's pretty much how I live. Um, well, what else I want to say? Yeah, exactly 1 month. Yeah, 17th of March. I'm gonna to talk about Terraform and AWS. at AWS Cloud Security Community Day, which is going to happen in the Computer History Museum, which is in the Bay Area. Mm, yeah, if you want to, I think it is, well, I don't know if it's free. Yeah, I think it's free event actually. Let me click. Yeah, it is free event. So uh, just go there and register, and I will be glad to see you there. And there will be a lot of good people and a lot of good talks by AWS heroes and by very active AWS users and employees. So yeah, check it out. The website is aws-cscd.com, and hopefully see you there. Cool. One more person joined AWS. No, sorry, not AWS. YouTube live stream. Oh my God, I have big notification here. Right. Okay. Jokes aside, let's do something useful. 7 minutes, and I'm already in something useful. What's this going to happen now? Okay. Brian actually move the needle on this one. Well, VPC, as you probably know, is one of the most active module out there. Let me see if there are any changes in the statistic recently. How many? 87,000 clones a day. Yeah, can be more, but okay. We need 1 million here. Hurry up. Okay, well, that's good. So it's growing somehow. What is actually the point of this one? So this pull request was initially adding support for NAU. I forgot what it means, but I will recognize what it means. NAU, well, somewhere there is a link to this. And at the same time, it's gonna to be breaking change. So it's gonna to be major release, as you can see here. Let me think. One of the important part in this one is that we don't want to have many major releases. I mean, if we can, we should have just one big one, or maybe one like soft, like this one. This is pretty soft because there are no destructive changes as far as I can see here. It's just increasing of minimum required version and provider version and so on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Changing some defaults, resolving simple things here. And we had this pull request open for quite some time. Again, the reason why we avoided it deliberately was because we did not want to break it so dramatically. So let's see the upgrade guide. Okay, let's see. So let's look through this pull request, and maybe I will come up with some other thoughts or ideas. I'll increase font so that everybody can read. Okay, once more, there are just increased version. Something has been removed because there is a new subnet type equivalent. Should we? Well, so we remove this variable, and people should use another subnet type equivalent. Okay, let's see how it is. So we are gonna to add well, I like that this live stream is converting into us saying good stuff about Ukraine. So yes, Slava Ukraini, Героям Slava. We can continue, that's no problem. Okay, so we add a bunch of different variables and then subnet for each subnet type. I'm not pretty much familiar with what this is for, so let me scroll through this and see if I understand it. Okay, examples are pretty boring. I mean, that's how it should be. We should not lock A, B, C because it may be not available for everyone. That's why we use data source to fetch information about available subnets, which is fine. Once more, we are very likely to use functionality of a very old version of Terraform, but it's safer for us to increase and require version 1.0 so that people can think that this is stable and the project is not dead. Um, project is definitely not dead. This one is pretty big change, I guess, for many people because, well, there are some users who would prefer to use version 3. They can still use it, no problem. Just don't need to upgrade to this latest version. Okie dokie, let's scroll further. Anything IPv6 dual stack. This is a new example which is added here. Let me see, GitHub.org. GitHub.org. Yes. No. Yeah, right. GitHub.org. Okay, right. So what else here? We are making VPC and we are using public subnet assign blah blah blah. S3 object handling is probably the biggest change in that provider version. Yes, I think you're right. Let me just briefly look into changelog. So you're talking about 335, right? So everything what is new from 35. All right, so S3 object, as you're talking, was introduced between version 3 and 4. And yeah, we already fixed this issue in S3 bucket module a couple times, so it should be good. Of course, there are always like new things being added into S3 resources, so that's good. But for the purpose of this upgrade, I think it's okay to stick to the version 4 because it's just latest and everything should be fine. Okay. IP, which one? Dual stack. IPv6 dual stack, that's it. Okay, so Brian has just removed or renamed IPv6 to IPv6 dual stack. Okay, yeah, that makes sense because we had IPv6 support before. It just moved, and there is also IPv6 only. Okay, so what's the difference here? So we are not making public subnet like we did with IPv4. We're just making public subnet IPv6 native. Okay, good. It's funny to see how slow IPv6 adoption is comparing to what I expected. I'm not big network like expert by any means. I learned IPv4, no IPv6, like what is it, just by writing Terraform code and attending a bunch of talks at reInvent. And yeah, I was expecting it to be like, oh, support from day zero. No, it's not. It's still being added everywhere, and a lot of services are not supported yet. Mm. Mm. Right, so all this stuff is the same. So examples are pretty straightforward. There is nothing bad to expect. Okay, let's scroll. I like when there are a lot of examples, so we can actually see how it's gonna to behave. Support and resources, what's going on with this? It's been moved to the bottom. Okay, fine. Outpost. Okay. What secondary VPC? No, secondary VPC seeder is one thing, but there can be two. Can we add this here? Right, just to make it exactly as it was before. So add a suggestion, secondary VPC, secondary VPC seeder blocks, right? Or actually something like this. To keep it as it was before. And then somewhere here, no, let's change it like this. And then this line will be changed to local. That's it. Seeder. So that there are still two elements in this list, so it will be 5 in total. Okay, private subnets is going to be concatenation of seeder subnet. What? Oh, okay. Since it is a list. Also update this line since local is a list. Okay. No, not gateway. Well, we don't need it. We don't need not gateway for this case, at least. Separate route tables. That's where some magic has been added. Good, so we are just generating a bunch of things. And again, here we are just moving files between, so it's good. Simple VPC, as somebody said, it's not so simple. Again, they just move of the examples. Nothing complicated here. Enable NOT gateway and single NOT gateway. This line is not needed. Why? Not gateway is already disabled. above. Okay, what else? Oh, that's where some magic CloudWatch log group name. Okay. Just moved here. Yeah, it's okay. It can be like this. Pretty simple changes overall, right? We have not seen anything big yet. Okay, here, main TF, that's where some magic is happening. Ooh. Okay, and that's starting to be something. Um, okay, so this is another variable which is introduced. Yeah. So no questions about this part. What about this default security group? Why do we remove this one? Well, we'll probably not remove it. We just put it in another part of the file, but it's pretty hard to navigate it now. Yeah, right. So it's gonna to take some time to understand what's written here, but if, well, it's just bad comparison, really. Let me find this public subnet. Oh my God. Yeah, it's pretty hard to navigate on this UI. Here is public subnet, the way it was written before, and the way it is written now. Well, how to compare this? That's a tricky part. So doing pull request review in GitHub UI, where things are moved inside of one file, is not so obvious thing to do. Any ideas how to do this? Because I don't know. I normally open it inside of IntelliJ or soon to be VS Code, and I open two files and compare it line by line. Of course, I can say like, oh, it works great, but this stuff is used pretty heavily, so I would rather spend the whole hour looking into this pull request. Yeah, yeah, it's not so obvious. Okay, let's see. Text compare, what is it? Is it name of the tool or what is it? Or is it name of the approach? Okay, I sip coffee and I'm brave enough to open IntelliJ. Ah, it's website. Oh, cool. Text yeah, text compare. Right. Good morning, Arthur. Text compare. I found it. Now let me open this file. How to open it? Euro. So this is new version. So let me put new one here, and the original one. I guess it's somewhere here. terraform-aws-modules. Main raw. So this is here. Compare. Ta-da. So let's see. Yeah, it's the same comparison as GitHub is doing. So of course it doesn't know where things go, right? Oh my God. No, actually it does know something, which is different from the experience which I have in GitHub UI. So thank you very much, Mert, for suggesting this one. Um, let me see where or what can I do here. So as I can see, this resource was moved. Let me compare one individual resource with another one, right? Okay, so this one was there, and now it is here, right? And how on earth I can compare it? Yeah, not really obvious. Um, yeah. Okay, I understand how I can do this. I will find this resource in the right side. Where is this? Where is this? So here we delete it, and here we add it. Okay, cool. Why not compare? Well, because there are a lot of other changes. As I can see, there were some things being removed, for example, and what also happens sometime to the best of us is that we copy paste some things and then we accidentally replace not in all places. For example, if we copy paste block from private, we forget to replace private to public in all places, and then it makes a problem. I'm One thing which I'm really glad with is that even if there will be some errors, like some big errors, it will take 1 hour maximum for people to discover it. So, I mean, there will be new issues and people will complain, but I would really prefer to look into this one and see if we can prevent it. Okay, so here is this section. I just need to compare it, maybe briefly at least, to the one to this one, right? So it was uh, on line 54, and now it's going to be somewhere on 1000. So create VPC, manage default security group, right? And the rest, uh, was copy pasted. Yeah, I see that there are no new IPv6 related things being added. Name is not changed, right? Name. No, name is also changed. So that's the thing, that if we change this one here, it will be a breaking change, and that's changes in tags. Yeah, well, changes in tags may not be a problem, right? Right, so this is I don't know how to say. So this is not like name of the security group itself. This is just a tag, but it will bring some difference to the user because user did not have this name and it will just be unnecessary thing. So that's kind of thing which I don't want to introduce. Name has been changed, so it will be can we revert this? Okay, so this was the only thing which I find in this piece of code. Again, because this is tag, it may be not critical, but at least we should document it. I don't know if it was documented, but probably not, because it's usually like, yeah, who cares about tags or names or whatever, as soon as it's not ID. Okay, let's see, public subnets. This is big. So here I need to compare the way it was written before. AWS subnet public, right? So this one I need to compare. So this piece of code I need to compare with, let me see, with this one. How can I look into this one? Okay, create public subnets. Pretty good. So from now on we have LAN public subnets, which is either IPv6 or IPv4. Good. And previously it was the logic. Ooh, it was another logic. It was the logic related to the creation of NAT gateway. So this part is fine. We can extend it, that's okay. But creation of one NAT gateway per AZ means that so when user don't want to create one NAT per AZ, or there are what? There are more public subnets than availability zones than this one. Right, so this is a pretty important statement as well. So I'm not sure that we need to simplify it this way. Oh, no, wait. I look into the wrong one. Okay, right, so here we have this one. Oh my god, I'm just blind. And this one is exactly here. So when one NAT per AZ and length of public subnet more than this. Okay, so the logic is actually here. I thought that Brian removed it. No, that's good, because it's important. When I added it a few years ago, or actually initially, I was a bit too much obsessed with the cost of NAT gateway, so I added these things into many places. Okay, now let's look into this assignment magic here and try to understand how it was written before. So previously we had assign IPv6 on creation with some logic and the IPv6 seeder block, and now we have IPv6 seeder block, but we don't have, no, we also have assign IPv6 on creation, where if it is native, then then no, if it is native, uh, wait, if it is native, then assign, but if it's not native, then public subnet assign create. Why not just, what is this one for? Why not just put assign IPv6 on creation, var public subnet assign IPv6 on creation always? What is this one for? Ah, okay, we do some other things uh, dependent on that. I see. I see. Hmm. Well, what if enable IPv6 as a variable? Shouldn't it be used in all other places as well? Not just here, here. But also here. I mean, if user uh, says enable IPv6 to false, should we even care about this one, line 99? Let's look into how it was. Before it was, it did not take into account before, right? So enable IPv6 was used just in one place here. Mm. Mm. See, I will just raise this as a question. Should we extend the condition to take into value of should okay, that's enough. I'm pretty sure that Brian will understand it. Yeah, well, in general looks clean, no other uh, things with this block. What else is here? So this kind of thing I often discover is that when people copy, let's say, this value, and then there is A, but there are 4 A's, and there should be also 4 A's. So this kind of small things. I often see quite a lot of issues in some Helm files or Jinja templates, or kind of, my eyes are pretty well trained to see this difference, yeah, pretty quickly. Okay, what else can be done here? Do we do something with tags here as well? Because we should not. So it was try format tags public lookup and try format tags public lookup. Yeah, looks clean. What else is here? Well, this is just wrong comparison. Now this is useless, really. This is useless comparison between these two files. Let's look into this comparison, which is much more concise. Okay, go further from, oh my god, who wrote this long files? Right, so when we look into a route table route table public. Mm, we we had this creation of publics one. I don't think it's possible to do anything bad or different there, so it's pretty clean. Again, most of these things will be identical because they're just copy paste. How can I look? Oh, I know how I can do this. I can just, no, I cannot do this. Okay, let's look into another line again. Here we're using element for the whole thing, for the whole size of public subnets. Good, good. And we are using route table one. Yeah, good. Okay, what else? This one is clean, not much to change. Yeah. Well, I think it's this one is clean as well. There is nothing related to the subnet. Here inside of private subnet, I'm pretty sure that the feedback which I provided on the public will apply to the private as well because they're all identical, like always. Okay, let's look into this change. I know that the comparison is totally off. Yeah, well, the comparison is just absolutely off. It doesn't make any sense to compare this one. So this is an example of how bad comparison on GitHub can be. Mm, okay, I'm thinking that I can just run this code. Yeah, I mean, I can run examples uh, and see how it works, right? Yeah, it was pretty much insane to review this. 1400 lines. Mm, right. Variables. Yeah, let's look into variables just to understand again the scope. Some things were moved to different places. Why this is at the very top, I don't understand. Can we move these variables below? List on the yeah. It's not a big deal, but it's just easy to review later. Okay, so database subnet IPv6 prefixes. Yeah. Again, it just moved back and forth somewhere here. I don't know how to review it. That's yeah, it does make sense to to spend time on this one really. As soon as all of this subnet specific properties are here, I think we are good to go. Hmm, not gateway. Yeah, all of this stuff is just moved back and forth here. Pretty boring, wasting of time. Oh, Putin that's good. Okay, yeah, not much to do here. Let's see. I want to run this code for real and see if it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. So it's pull request 838. Oh no, before that, one more thing here in README that updated path complete complete dual stack IPv6. Simple VPC is not simple VPC, it is called simple. That's what I want to change. What? Add a suggestion. Tring, 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 tring. Simple. Separate route tables is now called, yeah, separate route tables, that's fine. Manage default VPC. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's good. No, nothing to change here. Mm. Here we can see what exactly has changed, like default value for enable DNS host names has changed. Mm. Flow log file format has changed, but I think it's okay. Null is anyway default to probably plain text in this case. Constant fight with dots. Like, I don't remember when we add them, but in most places I think we remove them. Okay. Yeah, bunch of things being added. List of Redshift subnet inside the VPC. Okay. Manage default. Why this has changed to true? Oh yeah, here is it. Append default to the name if specific name is not provided. Oh, okay, so it's actually specified here already. Why this is true? Do we want this to be true? Because it was even suggestion at some point, well, not some point, for pretty long amount of time, that we don't manage this default security group because there is advanced resource with special caveat. Please read this documentation. It's so bad and don't do this and this. but we do it anyway. We do it because we want people to manage everything. My question now is whether it's like, what's the reason to change it to true? Do we have a special reason for having this changed to true? For having this and on the change to true. The default fallback value for outputs has changed from empty string to null. Yeah, it's safe because if it is null, then it will not be printed. Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, it's not going to be printed in the module which calls it. This change I commented, so I can remove. Where was my comment? It was somewhere here, right? Right, it was around this one. Name change, can we revert it? No, we cannot. There is an open issue. Let's see. What is this issue about? So this issue is 1 year old and it has been solved by adding this one. That's good. But let me just remove this dot because it's making problem here. Yeah, that's it. Looks pretty good. Most of it. Oh, let's look into outputs as well. Of course, I will run it now and see if it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. This can be changed, like from top of my mind. Maybe I'm wrong, but it can be written like this. ID. And that's it. It's gonna have to be a list of IDs. And that's what we had in some other places before. Right. I think it can be. I'm not sure because I didn't run it, but that's the idea. Okay, and we have a bunch of nulls here. Should be fine. This is the only change which we do here, which is good. Oh yeah, here is it. Why do you change this? Why did you change this? Isn't it working in 1.0? I like the previous one much shorter. So same for all other places. As soon as it's list, we can always refer to split syntax. We would need, no wait, we do compact, compact just to remove empty things. Yeah, well, do this line by line. Uh, you see, it's already 1 hour almost, and I have not run even examples yet. Yeah. Uh, so what I'm trying to say is that if we do it like this, it means that it will go through all subnets of this name and fetch seeder blocks and return them into list. Doing it like this, there is no need to compact these things, right? If we do it like this, well, it's actually the same thing. Compact will just eliminate all empty things, like empty or null values, or actually empty strings as well. Yeah, I like this way much shorter, much. I remember there were some changes in the Terraform at some point, but I don't remember which one is canonically correct. Right, so here we are. There is another database internet gateway route ID. So in this case, we are gonna to get ID of database internet gateway. Yeah, everything is good here. Yeah. Oh, this is something magical, which we need to simplify, I guess. So list of IDs of Redshift route tables. So if length of this one more than 0, then return it. If enable public Redshift, then this one, or else this one. Uh, how it was written before? It was written like this before. Right, so then it's okay. Uh, Ideally, I'd like to write it in some sort of try expression where we try, and give up to an empty list. Mm, but it's fine too. As long as it's not evaluating left and right parts simultaneously like it was in 3.0.12. Okay. I like the way it's written now, but all this compact of this one is meh. Like, we need to use more this splat syntax. Yeah, maybe there is a reason why he updated it so messily. I don't know. This one is much more elegant. Um, mhm, yeah. This was pretty. Oops, I clicked somewhere and it disappeared. Uh, right. Anyway, I think there is not much to talk about this one. Let's run example. Maybe let's start with simple one. It's pull request 838 and see if it works. Because if it works, then I will at least submit it for review and VPC and figure out later. Check out 838. And now what I want to do, examples, simple. Oh my God, there are so many. Simple. Mm, let's see. Of course, it's time to download something big. Mm. Right, so it's going to add a bunch of different things. Can this be... so first of all, okay, let's run it and see if it works. Well, it will work, I'm pretty sure. Mm. How can I check that my example, which was in complete VPC before, which was this, let's say, this Terraform state, and if I run it with a new code, that it does what it's supposed to be? I mean, how to test the upgrade path? Now should be no changes because we don't deal with dynamic services like lambdas or some e tag. Right, this is simple. This is simple and boring. I mean, I would pretty much unsubscribe from my channel if I would be you guys by this time because it's boring. Let's think about how to make it interesting. If I look into this example code one more time and I look into complete example, let's see, can I run the previous code and then upgrade it and run the latest code? That's what I want to see, right? If I can do this, it will be amazing. It will be so good. To do that, I need to, what should I do? Well, actually, inputs are pretty much the same as before. So what I need to do is just to run code on master and then check out this pull request and run terraform apply again with the same state file. Yeah, that should be a pretty cool use case. Okay, let's destroy it. It's boring. Right, so we will destroy this one. Who? Not deleting. What? EC2 default network ACL not deleted, removing from state. That's something interesting. It's called default network ACL. Default network ACL. Let's find it in this upgrade guide, and let's think where this warning about this network ACL can be added. Mm, mm. Should it be even added here? Because the error message was like warning, network ACL was deleted. Or no, not deleted. This is when trying to delete. Examples simple when trying to run. That's what I'm thinking, is that it's really up to user to set this to true or false. That's why let's keep the defaults to false and let user to become an expert by before uh, before switching this value, before switching these values. Yeah, I think yeah, I think that's important. It's similar with route tables. You don't want to have route table to be somewhere, like in this case, it's not deleted, so it's gonna to be just somewhere in my account laying around. Okay. What else? What else I can do here? Right. The plan is to go to this guy. It will create not gateway as well. Good. It will create a bunch of other resources. That's exactly what I want. But I do this in master branch first. Okay, let's go here and git checkout master. Good. Complete VPC. And I'm gonna to run terraform apply. It will create a bunch of random resources, like, oh my god, so many of them. It's also going to create a lot of endpoints, yes. So 74 resources will be created now. Then I will take this state file and I will put it into complete, right? Yeah. Let's see. Well, it will take ages to make all of these things. At least now it's making VPC endpoints. And yeah, it's making a bunch of things at the same time. Okay, it's also making a VPN endpoint or VPN gateway. Oh my god. Right. What else I can do while it's running? I don't know. I can probably entertain myself, but maybe it's not so much fun for everybody. Okay, let's see. Right. Okay, it's making its progress, which is good. Come on, come on. Right. Creation complete. Cool. So some services already. Not gateway is still creating. Well, actually, it's gonna to be interesting to see how quick this not gateway creation, because it was terribly slow before. Now it's, I can see 40 seconds, which is good. So we'll see. Okay, while it's doing something useful, let's take a look mm, into something else. Oh yeah, cool. There was a command. You're busy, but please could you review this PR? Well, that's exactly what I'm doing right now, Konstantin. I'll put this. Okay, what else can be done? Well, overall, I'm quite happy that it's yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So the next big thing, which we talked about many, well, not many years, but for quite some time, is related to the upgrade. What? Brian renamed repository. So v4 will be the one which we are talking about now, but v5 will be um, where things related to count to for each will be introduced. Yeah, good. Very good that Brian is working on this important functionality, because I don't have energy to look into that one now. Okie dokie, it has just finished. So let me take this Terraform state file, and that's the one which I'm gonna to need. And let's see, where can I put it? I'll take it from here, put it in the root, just so that I don't lose it accidentally. And now go to checkout 838. Yes, good. And now I'm gonna to look into complete. So here is my Terraform state file from before. I'm gonna to put it here. Hope the Terraform will pick it up. And also I need to change inputs because there were some changes in these inputs. So let me grab them from the pull request. Was somewhere here. Right, so the change was line number 6. No, 6. This one. And Cedar is this one. And is AZ. Okay, so I just took these inputs back to my example file, and I provided my Terraform TF state. and I'm ready to run Terraform init, and I'm ready to run it in the correct location. And I'm gonna to run apply now and hope that it will work. Cool. So let's take a look into what kind of changes are there. So first one is not has changed. What? Has changed. Okay, sorry. I'm reading this section, which is irrelevant for pretty much everyone since 0.15.4. And we can safely skip this one. If we want, we can run terraform apply refresh only to get rid of this, but that's the most important part. So first of all, the security group will be okay, yeah, so I changed location, so it was complete VPC and now it's complete. Right, so let me figure out what was the name. It was complete VPC. What? X complete VPC. Okay, so I just need to remove X complete VPC. That's it. Since it's new location, I need to make sure that it matches the one which was before. Okay, so now it's better. We have a few things changed. Overall, it's map public IP on launch, which is now disabled, right? If we look into this one, it's now default to false. That's true, and that's it. So only this change is necessary. Fantastic. I would really prefer to not have this as true, and that's it. That was very simple change. Of course, if I run yes now, it will change it pretty quickly, and that's it. Okay, well, it was simple change. Let's destroy this stuff, and let's just submit this for view. Yeah, let's. Cool. Request changes. Yeah, pretty much. Examples complete and no works, including upgrade phase. Right, I think that's it. There is not, yeah, nothing else to do here, at least. Yeah. A lot of small things here and there, but they're pretty easy to fix. Nothing so dramatic as it sometimes can be. Good. I think that's it. I'm not gonna to take more time. Actually, there is another one. All right, that's another discussion which we had about EKS recently. Pretty cool solution. I'd like to share it with everyone just by explaining how it works. Uh, it's related not just to EKS, but in general to Terraform. When we have several resources and we need to guarantee that creation of one resource is happening after something, it's often not enough to depend on this resource itself. Like in this case, Brian add time sleep resource, which sleeps for a certain duration, and it has certain triggers, which means when something will be changed, it will be triggering an update. Yeah, and instead of relying on, let's say, cluster name directly from the cluster, uh, in this case, we are relying from this time sleep resource, triggers, and cluster name. So this cluster name will be populated as an attribute of this time sleep resource as soon as this create duration pass. We have similar need actually for some other situations which I thought to look into today about adding resource dependency between Lambda function resources to make sure that some concurrent operation can happen. I didn't look into this pull request yet. Maybe it can be utilized here as well, because currently I don't think it does what it's supposed to be doing. You just change. I mean, it's copy paste of the same thing. It's not so elegant. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's supposed to be uh, written like this, which just depends. I don't know yet. Anyway, for today, I think that's it. There is not much to do. This pull request is only one which I was able to look into. So, oh yeah, sorry, Mert, you asked questions and I completely forgot about it. Are these resources being created on an actual AWS account? Yes, everything is being created on a real account. That's why it takes time. If at some point guys from local stack will be interested in showing their product and sponsoring my live streams, I will be glad to do pretty big investment of time and energy to run this much quicker, but using local stack. But that's another story. I don't have possibility to invest time into that one right now, so that's why we're using real account, real resources, real NAT gateways, and so on. Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks everyone for attending. See you sometime in the future. See you. Bye.